Welcome to another copy one video. This is an October 2024 Mahindra Scorpio. In this video, I'll give you a full look around this car, show the exterior, the interior, a couple of interesting features of the car, and so on. Let's get straight into it. Towards the front, you got some really nice full LED headlights. You can also see you got some nice chrome surrounding each of the headlight globes, which is a nice little detail, along with this one nice piano black trim as well, which I think is pretty cool. Look inside, you got this interesting pattern inside there, which is a nice little detail as well. And if I step back, you can see it's got this matte sort of finish as well, which I thought looked pretty interesting. You can kind of see you got a lot of chrome surrounding the front grille there, and it kind of feeds into the headlight as well. If I step a little back and get a better look at the front end, switch to a wide angle lens and get a better look. You can see you got your LED daytime running lights. You can also see you got some additional, sort of wind a little bit, and you can see you got some additional bits of some nice piano black trim there too as well. You see you got surround view cameras as well over here. So you got the front camera and you got the ones around on the sides as well. The fuel consumption of this car is 7.2 litres per 100 kilometers. Urban 7.8, extra urban 6.8. In terms of the engine, so we'll just quick little rundown. So this car produces about 129 kilowatts of power. It's got a 2.2 litre turbo engine. It is a diesel and about 400 newton meters of torque. So pretty decent numbers. Let's take a look at these wheels. So you got these MRF tires. Yes, MRF. Yes, they make cricket bats as well, in case you're wondering, in India. So they're MRF Wanderer tire, AS/S, and they are made in India. These tires. You can see the term tire size are 18-inch tire. So you got disc brakes in the front, which is a nice detail. I'll just switch my lens and you can see this. So you're wondering if the discs are rusty. They're not rusty. So well, they're not rusty because when your car sits around, it develops these little bits of some light rust, which will go away as soon as you drive. It happens to all cars. So don't worry about that. Just in case you're wondering. Have a look at the suspension. You've got these really beefy suspension over here as well. You can see underneath here, and see if I switch to a wide angle lens, give it a look at the side profile of the Scorpio. You can see you got hands-free, you got hands-free keyless, so you can press to lock the doors and stuff like that. Add blue, and you can see your diesel. I think it's about 60 litre fuel tank, if I'm correct. You can also see on the sides here, you can see you got some nice plastic cladding on the sides here. A little fun fact now, one thing what's actually happened with the Mahindra Scorpio is people have been refunding their vehicles, so you're probably wondering what's going on. So the real reason what's been going on with the Mahindras is the Scorpios is people have been refunding them because these came with a 5-star ANCAP safety rating, and then it became 0 stars and dismissed because it missed out on a few features such as AEB and I think the child detection seat. So those features actually, because of that, made it 0 stars. So this is pretty stupid because you gotta understand that this car's a 5-star ANCAP safety rating car. It wouldn't be sold here if it wasn't safe. So this car is very safe, and ANCAP have messed up because the point of ANCAP is to test the structural integrity of the vehicle, to whether it's actually strong in an accident. So those features will definitely help you, or emergency braking and stuff, prior to an accident, but not in the accident. So I find that really stupid. So people need to really have a better understanding that this car is perfectly safe. I thought I'd just make that very clear. So don't believe what the rating they said. That safety feature, those features should only be worth half a star. I cannot believe this car even got 0 stars. It makes no sense. Anyways, let's get back into this. So you can see you got the tail lights here. So you got these full LED tail lights. You can see it looks pretty cool, and you can see the nice pattern here. There's a nice little detail they've got all the way going around, and you got a mixture of this dark tint of red as well, which I thought looks pretty cool. You see the Scorpio logo here, and you can see towards the bottom portion you got your full reverse lights, and you can see you've got a full size spare tire underneath here. So you can see it looks pretty cool. You can see you got a solid rear axle, great for going off-roading and stuff like that. You can see. this is a 4-wheel drive as well. Third braking light, if I pull this handle here, this opens sideways. You've got an additional set of seats. You can also lift them out of the way. Pull this will come forward and tumble forward. And you got access to your larger boot. So the motion graphics over here will tell you about the boot capacity, in case you are wondering. See, you got some little bit some storage on the sides here. If I lift this up, you've got access to your toolkit and some additional and you can see underneath there has the, if you remove this, I believe, access to your bolt. You can see that. Wonder what that bolt is for? That's for the spare tire. So you can actually so you can actually release the spare tire because it's underneath instead of being on the back. So you got a power outlet over there too, and which is nice as well. And you can lock this in place. These are the instructions over here, and then you can pull this. There you go. And that locks in place, and then you got your additional seats. You can see also you got a little pass through, so you can actually walk to the rear, which is nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah, about 4 extra seats over here. Very nice. You can see also you got a handle for the inside if you want to open it from the back as well. Pretty cool stuff. That, and then that locks in. You can press that and open the doors. We'll just get inside. It's a little bit windy today. Yeah. That's a recap from earlier. Yeah, I'm actually pretty upset about the safety rating because people have now believed this car's 0 stars and haven't purchased it, have refunded their orders when this car's perfectly fine and ANCAP because of a couple of features like blind spot or because there's a lot of cars that don't have those features. And they don't get 0 stars. So how did this car get a 0 star rate? I don't understand. I just find that really makes no sense. For example, the Mitsubishi Express wagon, the new Mitsubishi Express, is actually based on the Renault Traffic. They're both the same car. That car got, I think, was a 5 stars, and the Mitsubishi version got 3 stars. It's the same car. There's no difference. Just the badge. So I don't know what's going on. So I think ANCAP needs to really double check what their standards. So I hope this misinformation has been cleared about those cars. So this car, it wouldn't be sold if it wasn't safe. Alright. And just because you have those features doesn't mean you're better. It will help you in the accident. It'll prevent, but not help. Anyway, so let's have a look at the front here. So we can get these really nice dark tinted gauges. If I just do that again, you can see it just lights up really nicely. And then they can't do that whole sweep thing you get on the Subarus. So you can see it looks pretty cool. So there's nice little dark dials, rev counter, speedometer on the right, fuel gauge, and temperature gauge engine. I like that little feature here. Actually checks your tire direction, which is good because when you start driving, you might end up rolling into something. So that's actually pretty cool. You also have this little menu button here if I press, and then you can cycle through all your different things. So your fuel, let's see your fuel information. And let's see what else you got, and then you can go your driving info and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, and the list goes on. You can just change everything, and then you got your navigation. So when you're driving, this will obviously display whatever's on the screen over here while you're driving, and then you don't have to take your eyes off the road, which is actually pretty nice. I thought that was a nice feature. And you can just, the cycle goes on. So let's look at the interior. So the interior build quality is actually pretty alright. So it's a hard plastics here. You can see also, I just realized this actually has the Sony sound system, which is actually really good. So, and you can see this has got this soft touch material of vinyl and this sort of brown stitching. Got a little bit of some storage here. In terms of how good the storage is, you got some storage in the drinks over here. You got a single cup holder over here that can fit my little drink bottle. And this one here, not the best example, but it is what it is. You can also see that there is this little spiral wheel thing, and that is to cool your drinks. So it's actually nice. You got a little air conditioner, runs directly through the air conditioner and cools down your drinks, which is nice. So the leather wrapped steering wheel over here, you can see, got this nice black stitching here and here. can see all these buttons feel very premium. They don't feel cheap or anything like that. You can see you've got the wiper control left and your headlight indicator controls are right. Fun fact, Mahindra's actual benchmark is Volkswagen, so their plan is actually to be as good as like something like Volkswagen or Skoda. It's interesting because I've driven these cars. They're very smooth to drive. I was actually quite impressed how planted. I thought it would just be rubbish, but no, it was very good. So I was actually really impressed about how smooth the ride is. So we could just see what else we got. So you can see you got a screen here up close. This is a media screen. It'd be nice if it was a little bit bigger because these bezels are quite large. So it must have, I think they updated this pretty recently. So this has got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is nice, you can see here. And the radio is very, very good quality. And I like compared to the, if I just give you a test of the audio.
New year, new view, new you. Visit IPSM and start the year with a fresh new look from...
So it's very crisp, you can see the low end's really good, great for music.
Clearance sale and save up to 40%. At
45 or 40 for members.
and then exit that Killer Park Drive. Start the new year fresh with Oz Design Furniture.
So you get the idea, it's actually pretty clear. Now the only downside is it doesn't offer DAB. That being said, I'm pretty sure most people just use the Spotify anyway, but it would be nice if it had that. The graphic looks pretty nice. I thought it'd be a little bit dated, but no, it's pretty cool. And then you can see all your air conditioning controls and stuff like that there too as well. You can see some shortcut keys over here, and you can see the quality feels pretty good, and even the resistance on these feel actually really nice. Let's have a look at the air conditioner. So it points up on the screen. You can see the lowest temperature appears to be 18 degrees. And see the highest temperature. And the highest temperature looks like it goes all the way up to about 32 degrees. Now the air conditioning power is actually really good. It's perfect for places like India and stuff, so you probably have no problem in Australia. And you can see they got some buttons here, which is nicely positioned because I can quickly just turn down the volume and stuff like that. So I'm just doing that purposely just to show you. And if I just press this up, I think you can also see your other sorts of stuff. You can also see the camera there too. I thought this was a surround view camera, but looks like it's not. So you can just a little bit wider, a little bit closer, and oh, okay. So you got a split wheel camera, and yeah, that's nice. It looks like there's no bird's eye view, but that would be pretty cool if you can get the one where you can swivel around and see what's around you. So pretty interesting stuff. If I press this one, does it let you? No. So does it? And you can take a picture or something. Looks like you can store it. Maybe if there's an accident or something, you can take a picture or something like that. Because I thought it's pretty nice. Okay, so let's have a look at about other stuff. So you can see you could turn off the stop start. The stops on this car is a bit weird. I don't know how to explain it. And it's when you drive the Mahindra, the way it turns off, it just it's like a hard turn off and then starts off. Whereas like most cars with stop start, when it turns off, it does it for a split second and then you can get going again. This one feels like you physically turn off the car and starting the car from scratch, which I think is a bit weird. So I'm pretty sure they can fix that with some updates or something like that. But that's one thing I didn't really like too much. But you can see you got the you can have stability control, you got hill descent control, got some additional black buttons which don't really do anything. And you can see you got two ports here, slightly fast charging port and a USB port. I think in this day and age we really need to go to USB Type-C, so I just think I hope there's an update for this car and we put that, because it's getting old, we gotta go to USB Type-C. Got a wireless charger over here, which is nice. Got your 6-speed automatic transmission, and it shifts gears very well. And you can see you got your 4 different driving modes. You can see snow, dirt, gravel, so on, and you can just high and low range, and you can do all that sort of stuff, which is kind of cool here. You can see if I press here, you got a armrest, and it's not very deep. I thought this would be removable, but I think they should have done that, but this one is not. So it looks like you're stuck with this sort of storage. This doesn't remove it all. The seats are made from vinyl, so it's an interesting type of seat. Let's put this one here. You can see it's a two-tone of black and brown, you can see here, and I think this is the only color choice you've got. I guess it's not too bad, because if it was black it would be really hot during summer. But you can see it's actually perforated here, and up close you can see you got some nice vinyl, some stitching here, and you can see this is actually pretty good. So you can see nicely they've done all that. Other sorts of stuff, you got a sunglass holder here, interior lights, and also I just forgot, what is this? There you go. You got a, sorry, that's better. Can this even open? Really? Huh. I guess just a tilting sunroof. I really thought that could slide open. Huh. Really? Yeah. Okay, so this only just opens up, so it looks like you can't actually, the sunroof doesn't actually physically open. That's interesting. I really thought you could, but okay. And then this one doing the slide over there too. You can see you got no vanity mirror here, which I was surprised about, and you got one for the passenger over here. So you got curtain airbags, all that there, and yeah. If this car didn't have curtain airbags, then I understand why I got 0 stars. But come on, man, like, very weird. So you can see your switches here; they feel very premium as well. And this is soft touch there. You can see you got adjustable lumbar support, so this one by hand, by manual, you can increase this. This increases the lumbar support here, making the seat less flat, and like that. I think that's good, because a lot of cars in this price range, you wouldn't really have that feature. You're kind of stuck with the lumbar support you've got. Of course, I have a listen to the, pretty solid. You can see you got the captain styles chairs. You can remove these. You can see the same seats as the front, you can see. And you got ISOFIX points for your child seats. You also get a USB Type-C in this rear, which I thought was really surprising. If you can bother to put one in the rear, why not put one in the front? And you can see you got some switches here, and you've actually got some air conditioning vents here, which is fantastic. So you can actually cool the cabin opposed to having it underneath the seat, which are nowhere near as effective. So hard plastics here, soft touch here. This is hard plastics too, and then some gloss black over there. Gloss black does look nice. However, it does scratch easily. That's one thing I really hate, and it's a fingerprint magnet. You can see the door quality. Pretty solid. So these are captain style chairs. They're pretty nice. I don't think this has any adjustable lumbar support, but would have been great. So you can see you got some storage here, a little pocket here. I think this is like for a smartphone. You can pull a phone in there and it doesn't rattle about, which I thought was pretty cool. You don't have a central seat here, but you can have access to the side seat. Let's just have I'm central to the rear, so you can see the seats up close, and the same seats as earlier. You can see it's also perforated, which is also nice. I'll just sit over here, and then you can get a better look of the dashboard from the rear seat. Look at that. Okay. So you can see you got some additional speakers on the top, which I can actually see, and some in the rear as well, which I thought was pretty cool. I cannot find the location of the subwoofer, but yeah. But anyway, here's the rear seat, so you can see. So let's just see how much room you got in here. I'm actually curious. I'm about 5'5". I'm very short, but I just want to see whether I could fit here comfortably. The seats are actually quite nice. I actually thought they'd be pretty bad, but they're not. So if I put my feet here, my knees are just touching the back of the seat, and it looks like that these don't, how to say it, they don't look like they can slide forward or back. So I'm pretty much, my knees are pretty much stuck to you. So if you're about 5'5", I think you can go on this pretty alright for a short distance, like half an hour, 20 minutes. But I think for long distance journeys, I think this is a little bit too low, because if you look at my legs, there's not much under thigh support. So this is good for small children. So I think if you're about, I think 5'1", I think you should be comfortable. But this is a little bit hard, I'll be honest. Can kind of sit here also. You can probably add this as an additional seat, but you don't have any seat belts, which is fine for places like India or something like that. It looks like this seat you can whoops, I think I just dropped the camera just in. You can put this one down and this can tumble forward, so that's actually pretty good. So you can do something like that, and this will give you extra access to get in the vehicle, or you can use it to store other stuff as well. So just to show you how this is where my legs were, so you can see if this is the level with the seat, this is how much room I have. This is actually a great example to show you. So that's why I could feel. Got some storage here. Not really much. It's more just to put a phone, but it'd be nice to have some cup holders or something like that. But pretty cool stuff. Get a better look from here. And this can. Nice. And yeah. Let's have a look at the engine. Oh, what the hell? Did forget to show you the cup holder storage situation in the rear. You can have a look. Okay, let's have a look at this engine. So 2.2 litre engine, 129 kilowatts of power, 400 Newton meters of torque, mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. So this one, I'm not too sure if it's spring assisted. I don't think so. I'll be surprised if it is. Right. 1 second. There you go. So you got no struts on this one. So there you go. Ow. So look at the engine setup. It looks like it appears to be an inline 6-cylinder that goes this way. So it's actually, inline 4. Sorry, that goes this way. Look, you got your battery here. Another fun thing is a lot of the stuff from Mahindra, they use Bosch electronics. Here's a little point fact seat. They actually use the parts actually from Bosch. So they actually use these European stuff in order to get the which is actually pretty impressive. So got all these cool Bosch electronics. And in case you're wondering, these are obviously built in India. So you can see all the other stuff. Got a lot of room here, which is great. So if you want to change the belt, you can do it right here. And it's actually quite interesting how they've put the radiator really flush to the frame of the car. So this gives you a lot of access to quickly change the belt or something like that. So they've really thought about maintenance on this car, which I thought was actually pretty good. The airbox right over here, it's held on by these screws, which again are quite easy to spot. So it shouldn't be too hard to replace. So that's actually nice. And you can see this airbox is also made by Bosch as well. So pretty interesting. Your coolant over there, brake fluid, brake reservoir, and yeah, so on. I'm just trying to find the diesel fuel filter, but I cannot seem to find it anywhere. You can see up close. Okay. Well, that's my little walk around of the Mahindra Scorpio. Oh, that's another thing I just remembered. When you open the bonnet, the indicators will go on automatic to sell, which is actually a nice feature. Anyway, so this car is for sale at Eastside Mahindra. These cars are for sale and they are safe, so don't worry about the whole thing, cap safety rating thing. So these cars are safe and they're very solid. You can see for yourself. So don't believe what you see on the meter. So this is actually really good stuff. This car is up for sale. There's plenty of them in stock, so please check them out at Eastside Mahindra in Nadawading. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.